welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. Today I'm doing part 4 of my art journal. Yes, the journal has made a comeback. I'm about a third way done with this journal, so I will keep doing videos until I get through the whole thing, just because I'm really proud of this book. It just shows a lot of where I was in my journey, and there's just a lot of stories that I want to share. Well, grab coffee and tea and sit back and relax and let me share my journal. Okay, so we left off about here. See, I've got this much left. Let's jump right in. So this is the next page. It says freedom, and it was really nice to see that word and have it visible, just because I was longing for freedom. My eating disorder just trapped me and I felt like a prisoner, and I was just wanting to be free from it. And so it was really nice just to find that word and paste that on so that I could read it. And then I have a flower, and what I did was I grabbed a charcoal pen and I just rubbed it all over. That's how I felt. Like, I just felt like I had this blanket, this shield, this fog over the word freedom. So it wasn't all bright and happy. I felt like I needed to have that darkness over it. And then this page, I kept the words visible and I just drew over it. And this is, again, this is a repurposed book. If you haven't watched part 1 of me explaining why I started this and how this was helpful, go check that out. And then I also explain more in part 2 and 3. But this is just a repurposed book, and I just really encourage you guys to try this form of journaling. This is how I journal. I journal in pictures and all the mediums, and just for me it's just really fun to visually express myself. You can do anything, paint over these words, leave them like I did here. I just painted this eye, and I had this tears and then this pool of tears down here. Recovery for me, it's really hard, and there were a lot of tears, and I was just starting to feel again. When you nourish your body, you start to feel again. And so this page, I just really wanted to express that sadness, and there was lots of tears, lots of weeping in treatment. So that's why I felt like I needed to draw that. Okay, next page. Okay, this one is just more magazine covers. I found this and I just thought that was really pretty, just with the girl and the rainbow and the birds. And it just says, "Believe you can and you will." And I just loved that phrase. And I'm a huge believer of, if you say you can't, you won't. And if you say you can, you will. And so it's just all about that positive talk that you give yourself. It's so important. Even if you don't believe it, just tell yourself the opposite. Tell yourself, I can get through this, even if you have doubts. But it's really important to tell yourself that positive talk. It's more likely that you will succeed when you tell yourself you will. This page is more magazine cutouts. I have these couples that looked so happy. No more apologies, no more excuses, it says up here. And then here it says happy, that word free again. I really loved thinking about being free of this disease, free of the negative thoughts and the horrible things that I was telling myself. And I just love that no more apologies, no more excuses. With struggling with an eating disorder, there's always excuses of why you won't eat or why you won't do this. And it's just, I need to condition myself. I really struggle with that, just making excuses. And I need to stop that. Excuses keep you stuck. And so if you just tell yourself, no more excuses, just keep fighting, keep going forward. I really loved that phrase right there. This one, let me explain. It kind of looks like a murder scene, but what I did was I completely painted this acrylic paint, red paint, like all over it, and accidentally I scraped it a little while it was wet, and I'm like, oh hey, that looks pretty cool. And so I decided just like scraping the wet paint and scraping the page a little to create this effect, and I kind of liked it. I found this clipping. It says, finally, energy. It's kind of an acrobatic pose here. They're just holding themselves up like that. And I loved this because it reminded me of why I need to fuel myself for energy and to get back into the things that I love. Gymnastics and dance is such a part of who I am. And when I was so weak, I wasn't able to do these things. And so I have to keep reminding myself that food is fuel so that I can do do this, and I love gymnastics. I'm in a show right now and I get to do gymnastics in it, and it's really, really amazing to be able to be strong enough to do that again. And it's really bringing back a part of me that I lost, and it feels so good. I'm gonna seek out adult open gyms and just keep on flipping as long as I can. Anyways, that was a very nice reminder to keep on in recovery so that I have energy to do acrobatics and dance. Okay, this page has a lot of words, but let me explain. I did find this poem. We'll do this side first. I did find this poem, and what I did was I found a poem inside a poem, so I underlined key words and I found just a more deeper poem inside of the poems. Let me just read this to you, and then I'll read the hidden poem that I found. There comes a time in life when you walk away from all the drama and people who create it. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh. Forget the bad and focus on the good. Love the people who treat you right. Pray for the ones who don't. Life is too short to be anything but happy. Falling down is a part of life. Getting back up is living. I love that last phrase. Falling down is a part of life, but getting back up is living. That one was really strong. So now I'll read the poem inside of the poem, the words that I underlined. It says, you surround yourself with people who make you laugh. Focus on the good. Life is too short. Happy life living. So that's kind of what I just have found inside this poem, and it just was really cool to just, emphasize those certain words that jumped out at me. Okay, so now I'll explain this page. So this one, I just happened to find a poem inside of this book, and I don't know what kind of book this was originally. I don't know if it was fiction or nonfiction, but what I did was I just went through and I underlined words, and I actually found words that kind of made sense that went together. So I found this kind of poem inside this random page. So I'll just read this to you. Seasons come and gone. People say life is not so easy. Lived in this way as long as can remember. Remember lovely living, lived shouting through danger, forward to the place of perfect harmony. Begin. So it doesn't necessarily make sense. However, those words to me just really resonated with where I was in my life, and just the last word that I underlined was begin. And I just saw those words, love, lovely, living, lived, shouting through the danger, life is not so easy, seasons come and gone. It was just really cool. And actually I have a kind of related to this, an anxiety exercise that you guys can try. You get any magazine or any book and you just underline, you go through an order and you just find all of the S's or all of the A's. And this really helps when you have a panic attack or really anxious about something. I've done this technique and it really does focus your attention. It grounds you, brings you back in the moment, and really does help you kind of forget what you were panicking about in the first place because you're so focused on the words. And so it is a mindfulness exercise, and it's kind of fun, if you're in a waiting room or doctor's office or waiting for anything. Just go through and find, you can even circle all of the ofs or and the. I usually just go and find all the P's and circle all the P's or random letters. So that's just kind of a related sort of thing to this technique of going through in any book and seeing if you can find a poem inside or make a poem. Next page. Okay, this one. This one represents my mind, and it says crazy. I felt crazy. I felt like this was my thoughts, and it just was really therapeutic just to take the oil pastel and just kind of wiggle it around, no certain way, no rhyme or reason, different colors. It was really calming, just like that circular motion I talked about in my other videos. Yeah, I mean, this felt like my thoughts. There were so many thoughts, nothing made sense. And so that kind of represents this page right here. This one is kind of a darker day. I found this castle and I ripped it here, and then I found this girl figure with this fire down here, and so I pasted these two pictures together, and then I just took a Sharpie and just wrote different words: lost, scared, broken, struggle, not good enough, stuck, depression, fire, and pain. And for this, it was just very therapeutic to allow myself to write down what I was feeling. I was hiding hiding and pretending for so long, and it was really nice to have a platform, to have permission to write down the dark stuff, write down scared, lost, depression, everything that I was feeling, not good enough. This was just very simple. I could have wrote down a whole lot more, but this was just the beginning of me letting out those dark things and having them visible. It was really therapeutic to let myself kind of go there, go to that dark place, let out those words. How are you guys doing? Good? All right, we'll continue. Next page. This one was kind of a nice little breather break from that dark day, and it was kind of nice to find these calming fields and nature. I love roads. I love paths. It really spoke to me about this journey I'm on, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know what's to come. It's just a visual representation of keeping on that path of recovery, keep going forward. And then I just found this other field and this girl that's just on a journey. It says natural and then what's now, because we don't know what's to come. We just have to keep going. All right, next page was just a simple, I found this Google Images, and then I have this flower here, and this says, strength doesn't come from what you can do, it comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. Love that. Overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. So that was really inspiring for me. This one I just felt like I was a kid again. This is just chalk. I drew a flower, and that is just a simple flower, no detail, very easy, but it was just really fun to draw some pretty flowers. Therapeutic. I had to really challenge my perfectionism with this book. As you can see, when I closed it, because of the chalk, it made an imprint of the flowers over here, and you know, I didn't hate it. So that's the cool thing about art, is there is no perfect way to do art and to express yourself. You don't always have to go in the lines, and it doesn't always have to make sense or be perfect. It doesn't turn out the way that you envisioned, and that's okay, and that's what this is all about, and just expressing, and whatever happens. Kind of have to just like go with it. This one was another Google image search that I cut out and pasted. It says, Dear God, today I woke up, I am healthy, I am alive, thank you. This was just kind of the beginning of just being grateful for the little things, and I still have to make my video about how I found hope and gratitude, and how I use gratitude in my everyday life to stay positive and to stay in recovery and to find joy again and to feel joy. That was just really healing to read. Today I woke up, I'm healthy, I'm alive, and just to be grateful for the little things. I woke up, I got out of bed, I made my bed, I'm doing recovery, I'm doing the hard things, I'm making myself eat again, all of those things. You always have to give yourself credit, because we are very hard on ourselves. All right, next one is more cutouts, and I love beaches and palm trees. I love it. It just makes me think of paradise. I pasted these and I got some stars, and I just wrote with a Sharpie, breathe, enjoy, and this says relax. And this one was just kind of a calming page. Okay, this wasn't as vivid as I wanted, but these are just oil crayons, and I just did the sunset. I love sunsets or sunrises. This one is the eating disorder recovery symbol. This is my first tattoo with imperfect heart. I did some watercolors behind that, painted that with a little acrylic, and then these are leftover strips. I explained this in my other videos, my other art book videos, part 2 or 3. What I like to do is I paint a whole picture and then I cut it up and I make another picture. I love that deconstruction, cutting up paintings and making it new, using them in different ways. So I just had some extra strips to fill in that space here. Okay, this one, I really love this because it has a lot of texture. You can kind of see, like, you can feel the bumps and the glitter, and I really made the acrylic paint thick, heavy strokes, and then I had this glitter. Like I said, I had a lot of mediums at this facility, and I just wanted to use everything. And it says, I need a hug. I need a hug, please. And I didn't realize how desperately I needed human contact, human touch, touch. I spoke about that in another video about how I was really uncomfortable with touch and it was really triggering for me, and I didn't want anyone to touch my body because I was just disgusted of myself, and I was just really hurt from past experiences where touch was scary and I felt out of control. But I'm in a place where I think I just realized, like, I just need a hug, like a nice comforting hug. And I wasn't with my friends or family in treatment. I think I was just like missing my loved ones. That's what this page is about. Okay, so these pages, so these are a little bit deeper. What I did was I just did my oil pastels and I wrote ED, and that's short for eating disorder. And then I have this black heart and it's just broken and bleeding. This represented my heart and what the eating disorder was doing to me. And I had to realize that the eating disorder is killing me. So many years I thought and said that it was my comfort, it was my friend, it was deceiving, and it was saying that it was helping me, and in all reality it was killing me. And so this was just really therapeutic to let myself show that the eating disorder was killing me. And so that's what this represents. And then over here, this is barbed wire, and this represents me, and there's of course more tears. In the barbed wire, I just felt trapped and consumed by the rules and by my thoughts, the pain, and I just wanted to be free of that. And I didn't know how to be free of the barbed wire, of that control of what the disease was doing to myself. So I just kind of did a representation of how I felt in being a prisoner with this disease. Okay, so the next ones are a little lighter. I just have this poem. It says, it's don't look back because you might fall over what is in front of you. And that is just, that's just showing to always look forward. Don't look at your past. Don't look at what you did. Just keep your chin forward. And that poem was just really a good reminder of that. And I just put different construction papers. And then over here, I have another poem. Well, first I did some oil pastels. I colored it. And then I have this square. And then I have more pieces of the paintings that I cut up. And I just made them look like shattered glass around here. And I found this. It says, from every wound there is a scar, and every scar tells a story that says, I survived. That was really helpful to read just because I have a lot of scars from self-harm and cutting. I was really ashamed of those and really scared that someone would see them. So this was just a reminder of those scars are representing that I got through that. I can heal. I survived. And so just kind of helping me not have so much shame, telling myself that I did get through that. That's that. I think I'm gonna stop there. We'll definitely do a part 5 soon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these series. I'm really proud of this book, and I'm really hoping that I encourage you to start one on your own. I really appreciate all of the love and support that I've received with this channel. Please continue to share this video with others and tell others about my channel. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope you're getting outside and enjoying this weather and the nature and the warmth, and remember to trade your expectations for appreciations. I'll see you very soon.